I guess my big thing is, and it's not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. I guess my big thing is if you have been suspended and you were forced to take a month off and you had to fix yourself, when you do come back, when you're able to come back, you'd think you'd be on time.
Are they doing bench mob?
I don't know what they're doing. I know that
I have not seen Martin Archibald in person. I've seen his laptop at the desk, which usually means he's here in some capacity.
I don't
know, though. I think he is.
I guess Marty, I'm not really worried about Marty. But Rico has 1 day of perfect attendance since he got back from suspension. And now he is not here. And you know what? It's fine. It's really what it is. You know, Ben Mintz is off in Louisiana dicking around, taking pictures of his breakfast. I'm here with you, and Rico's dicking around somewhere, and Marty's dicking around, and now we're just sitting here. Just the boys.
Could be worse.
Could be worse. How you doing?
I feel good, actually.
Why?
I don't know.
Can I tell you?
It could be worse, probably.
Can I tell you a secret between me and you?
Sure.
There's a 12 o'clock basketball game tipping off right now.
1 o'clock.
I thought it was 12 o'clock.
1.
Is it 1?
Fairfield.
Fairfield and who is it?
Fairfield versus Manhattan.
Manhattan. So it's Fairfield against Manhattan. All right. The Stags against the Jaspers.
Yep.
Sometimes these day games, when they happen, I'm like, oh, I got to bet that because it's in the day. And I know you do that all the time. That's your philosophy. If it's during the day, they're giving me an extra little bonus, I'm going to bet it.
Yep.
Sometimes it weirds me out. Why are they playing at 1 o'clock on a Wednesday? Sometimes it just weirds me out. There's no reason for them to be playing at 1 o'clock on a Wednesday.
See, I think the opposite, where I'm like, why are there not more 1 o'clock games?
Yeah, because nobody's there to watch them. That's why there's not more.
Well, that's why you put the lower games there, which I appreciate.
Fairfield and Manhattan.
People in the cube is everything appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Manhattan will always be linked to me for, I believe, if I'm not mistaken with the year, 2005. They upset Florida in the first round, and I picked it. And whenever you nail a good upset, it stays with you for life.
Oh, yeah.
It stays with you for absolute life. Like, I don't remember. I think Bucknell over Kansas, 2004, I believe. I believe 2004. I was on that, too. And I don't know why I saw that coming. I think that was a 14 over a 3. It might have been a 15 over a 2, but I think it was a 14 over a 3. I don't think I've ever gotten a 15 over a 2.
You don't remember, because I feel like even last year, I can't remember like half the tournament matchups, but I remember I had North Texas over Purdue.
Yeah.
I remember that.
You remember that forever. You remember that for fucking ever. Like, you know how they say, you know how tournament teams have deep runs, like Loyola Chicago, unforgettable run, VC.
Also, Oregon State last year, I was on them, so I'll be telling my grandkids about their run. I was on them in the Pac-12 tournament.
This is the point.
I bought their merch.
VCU had the great run. George Mason had the great run, and we remember them forever, right? But personally, we also have runs. We also have runs that we remember forever. And like you said, Oregon State.
That might be like my all-timer.
You'll never forget the 2021 Beavers.
They were a team that, if they didn't win that Pac-12 tournament, they weren't in the tournament.
Right.
I was on them like from game 1 of the tournament and just rode them all the way to the Elite Eight. They beat Oklahoma State. They beat some really good teams on that run. They beat everyone in the Pac-12, obviously.
I'm starting to just this conversation right here.
We're getting close.
Starting to get that itch.
You want to know this too? It's because I feel like we just kind of skipped winter this year. Like we had some cold days.
Yeah.
But I feel like it kind of just went from like it was cold for like a week. Then it's just like tomorrow it's gonna be 60-some degrees.
We had one good snow, and it wasn't a terrible. It was like 6 inches.
Oh yeah, not even in the city. I would say not even a little bit outside. Like because I know my parents live, they got some decent snow.
Last year was a rough winter. We had 7 or 8, and this year we had 1. We're not finished, but it is going to be 62 degrees.
It's wrapping up. I mean, all next week is supposed to be like mid-50s.
If you watch Barstool, you're going to see a lot of people that live in New York and work in this office just raving about the weather next week. It'll be like we've never seen sunshine before.
Yep, it's the best. I'll probably wear shorts every day.
You're already planning that out? I think it's going to be 62 tomorrow, 63 on Friday. Yep. I don't know what it's like wherever you are in the world, but the one thing, it was so depressing. I don't know if anybody knows it. So we flew from L.A. to Lake Charles, Louisiana for the Super Bowl. And Lake Charles, Louisiana was colder, but it was still nice. It was 60. Then on Monday, we were flying back. We had the Penn plane. We flew Dave to Miami, dropped him off, and then flew back. And when we landed in Miami, we were there. They had to refuel. We were there about 45 minutes. And I walked out and just sat on the tarmac, and it was just unbelievable.
Florida's the best.
And then we flew back, and we'd been in L.A. for a week, and this is so spoiled what I'm saying. It's not a real life that we get to live. So we flew back, and around Northern Virginia, Philly, something like that, you looked outside, and you start seeing snow on the ground. And we're like, fuck, don't even land the fucking plane. I don't even want to get out. Anyway, all right, so we got a lot to talk about today. TJ, does the ad placement matter on this, or do I just read it whenever I read it?
Doesn't matter.
All right, TJ, how enthusiastic are you today to be here?
I'm ready for war tonight.
You've got Illinois coming in to what do you call it? The Rack?
It was technically it's Jersey Mike's Arena, but it's the Rack.
It's the Rack. Okay. So Rutgers, who beats everybody at home, is playing Illinois tonight. You gonna be on Rutgers?
I am on Rutgers.
I'm on Rutgers as well.
+4. I got 4. I'm like, it's already down to 3.5.
I bet the money line. I think they're gonna.
I like it.
TJ, are we all on Rutgers?
No.
Oh, good.
I actually, I didn't. It was a late ad for me. I didn't send it to him in my initial. But I came around once I got because I was in Jersey. I came to New York. I was all right. Like got the line in.
Zah, welcome back.
Thank you, Brandon.
Where you been?
I was in D.C. yesterday.
Really?
Welcome back to you.
Thank you.
You're the one that wasn't here.
Well, I was here yesterday.
Yeah.
So you could have welcomed me back yesterday, but you weren't here. Yeah. So welcome back to both of us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Did you see Mbappe splitting that defense?
That was phenomenal.
I don't know much about soccer, but do you have to cut those two defenders?
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially,
but then again, that's the best player in the world doing that too.
It's a great player.
Yeah.
But you can't let that happen.
Yeah.
In
that was embarrassing.
He just split them.
You ever heard of a guy named Thierry Henry?
Of course, I've heard of Thierry Henry.
That's what he used to do.
Just split the defense all the time.
Yep. Reminded me of Henry, that goal.
I heard when you go out on a Friday night, you know how to split the defense. You know what I'm.
We don't kiss and tell, Brandon.
Okay, all right. I didn't say nothing about kissing. All right, tune into the greatest race in all of motorsports, the Daytona 500, this Sunday, February 20th at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox. There's no better place to kick off the 2022 NASCAR season than at iconic Daytona International Speedway with the 64th running of the annual Daytona 500. Winning the Daytona 500 is a lot like winning the Masters, the Super Bowl, or a gold medal in the Olympics. Country artist Luke Combs will get the party started by welcoming fans back to the track with a pre-race concert. As the music stops and the action begins, fans will be on the edge of their seats for 500 miles of heart-pounding action. Over 100,000 people will gather to be part of this prestigious event. The energy, excitement, and power of being here in person will stay with you for a lifetime. Again, tune in to the greatest race in all of motorsports, the Daytona 500, Sunday, February 20th at 2:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox. All right. I'm glad it's just you. We just talk sports.
Yeah.
Just two dudes talking sports.
You want to know what I've been doing a lot lately?
Yeah.
I've been mock drafting my ass off.
The first topic is going to be mock draft.
Because I literally just got a notification from the score saying ranking the best 25 free agents.
Yeah.
It just made me think of mock drafts.
Well, I think it's fascinating, this offseason we're about to head into, because now more than ever, you realize how important a quarterback really is. Cincinnati was dead and buried forever. They draft quarterback there in the Super Bowl in 2 years. Yep. The Rams have every piece, but you realize Jared Goff can't do it. They go out and trade for a quarterback, boom, win the Super Bowl. And you realize it's the most precious, and we've realized this for a while, but it's the most precious commodity in all of sports. But now, this offseason, where do you get them? Like, the draft isn't offering you a promise of a Joe Burrow. This draft isn't doing that. So I have two questions about the NFL, then some NFL draft questions, okay?
Love it.
The two questions in the NFL, what's the more important question this offseason? Is it where will Aaron Rodgers play? Where will Kyler Murray play? Or where will Tom Brady play if he plays? So, starting backwards to front, it has been rumored that Brady's retirement is a play to get him to San Francisco. That's a rumor. I don't know if that's true or not. I tend to lean that it's not true. I tend to lean that he's retired. Kyler Murray, meanwhile, is going through some kind of childish he said, she said drama with the Cardinals. And it's not just him. It's back and forth with the Cardinals, the organization. So I don't know if he's locked in there or not. And then, of course, Aaron Rodgers has been in that he said, she said with the Packers for forever. And it is assumed he will play for somebody else next year at this point. I could even throw in, is there still a question about Deshaun Watson? But let's just let him deal with his legal troubles. So which one fascinates you the most? Where will Aaron Rodgers play? Will Kyler return to Arizona? Or will Brady play at all?
Rodgers fascinates me the most. I think it's the most realistic for change.
Yeah.
Because honestly, the Brady Brady signed a contract with Tampa where couldn't Tampa still owns his rights, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
I just don't see how Tampa lets that happen. Like, obviously, he did a lot for them, win a Super Bowl, get it. But I don't understand how he just if I'm Tampa and you just retire on me to just leave.
Yeah.
I'm
fuck you forever.
I don't know if it's fuck you forever. I'm on that specific decision. I'm not just letting you walk.
Yeah. I don't know the legality of all of it. I don't know the.
It's kind of the similar with Gronk. Obviously, Gronk is easier. He hadn't played in a year. Just let him they traded, I think, a pick or whatever. But I'm not letting Brady just go to a team in my conference.
I think I kind of like how Gronk he doesn't play for the Bucs. He just plays for Tom Brady.
Yeah.
He just plays for Tom. Wherever Tom Brady goes, that's where he plays. Hey, boys.
Hey, sorry the meeting ran late, man.
No, it didn't. I watched you guys leave for the meeting at 11:50.
11:50? We left at 11:30.
No, I was walking right with you right before I came in here.
1,000% 11:30.
It wasn't 11:30.
100%. Maybe 11:35.
I was walking with you.
It was not 10.
On my way in here.
It was 11:35. And sorry, we're overtaking your show on Sling. My bad.
Oh, you're not overtaking my show on Sling. Are you joining the Sling party?
I mean, yeah.
Why do people always say, because Jerry does this amateur shit, he's like, oh, I'm going to overtake you on Sling. I want you guys on Sling. It's going to help me.
No, I know. I was just making a quick joke.
Oh. All right.
I didn't really say I was going to overtake you.
I think we should all be on HBO and get a cut of people who sign up for the premium
Well, some of us maybe do get a cut of the signups.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Not me, but some of us might.
Interesting.
All right. So we were talking. We started with the NFL because it's still the number one sport in the country. What's the bigger question? What's the more intriguing question going in the offseason? Where does Aaron Rodgers play next year? Does Tom Brady play next year? Or where does Kyler Murray play next year?
I think where Aaron Rodgers plays is
Seems like the easy answer.
That's what I said,
and then Kyler, then Tom. I don't
agree.
I'm over Tom.
Murray's
I'm kind of over Tom too.
Yeah.
Murray's still under his rookie contract.
I don't think Murray's going anywhere.
Well, he's under his rookie deal, but it is kind of fascinating what's happening there. Like he's dropped every mention of the Cardinals. He's getting away from the Cardinals, and the Cardinals organization is leaking out that he's immature and he's this and he's that.
He also came out and said he doesn't deal with the nonsense. He started the nonsense.
He's Mr. Nonsense, yeah.
Like he's the one who it's crazy that news these days is if you unfollow someone.
Or if you remove anything on your Twitter profile or your Instagram profile.
How did someone even realize he didn't follow the Cardinals? Like, who's looking at that shit?
That I don't know, but I think the Kyler situation, because he's young and he's going to play for the next 12 years, whereas Rodgers, you're going to get 3 years out of him, and then Brady. To me, I think Brady's right there at the edge of the cliff. That doesn't matter. Aaron Rodgers. Now here is the question: which team can win the Super Bowl? Which is the number one team that can win a Super Bowl with the right quarterback, with Aaron Rodgers?
San Fran, easy.
Okay,
next year, right?
I don't think it's that easy.
Next year, though.
I just think they're built like good offensive line, good defensive line, good all-around defense, good weapons.
For next year, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, because the Rams did win this year. So that's a good question. Who for next year? I just want a clarification.
Correct, Rico. I'm not asking who could win this year. The season that just ended.
Just so we're clear.
Trigger.
Just so we're clear.
Trigger.
Just so everyone's clear. Who's next year's champion?
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
These two got it.
Somebody out there might be new to sports, and you don't want to shame them.
Sometimes he isn't doing his jokes. Like in the meeting before, we were talking about getting a press pass for Rutgers, and he goes, "Well, you can't go on the court during the game. Like, oh, I can't play. I'm not allowed to play." And he was really serious about it.
So I think the reflex answer is the Niners, but I got three others. So a lot of people think he could go to the Broncos. I don't think the Broncos are that close. I think the Broncos are fine, but I don't think they're that close. I think the Colts are close, and I think the Titans, if they were able to move on from Tannehill and get an Aaron Rodgers in. Now I don't know if that's even possible.
You don't think Pittsburgh's in the discussion?
I don't think Pittsburgh's very good with or without a quarterback.
Offensive line stinks.
I think the Colts are close. I think the Niners are close. I think
Colts
the
makes
Titans
a lot of
are
sense.
very close.
Colts make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
No, Colts and Titans are good. I personally would take San Fran over them, but I think they're not the Colts. I think definitely are not far off.
Well, he's a Cali guy, right? Obviously. So San Fran is.
Yeah. But I think Frank Reich at the Colts is quarterbacks love him. Every quarterback he's had loves him.
Also, you look and it's he is the MVP. but he's getting up there in age a little bit. He can lean. I mean, Taylor's a fucking animal.
Cooper Kupp got 1 MVP vote this year. I think he should have got more. Just like to say that out loud.
You look at, like, what's the best scenario for me? Going with a workhorse running back.
Where are you talking about?
Colts.
I mean, Titans too.
Okay.
Hell, and then the Niners, you got Debo alongside, and he's going to do whatever.
Yeah.
So I think, and the Niners have very intriguing young weapons. Ayuk is an intriguing young weapon.
Ayuk, Debo, Kittle, and they kind of just have like a stable of good backs. Behind a good O-line, they all run well.
And their defense is going to keep you in games.
There's also been never really any turmoil in that organization, correct? Like, 49ers are a top-tier, top-class organization.
I think they are probably in the top third of the league for sure.
Only top third. Like,
well, I'm
historically.
just saying comfortably. I think they are. Yeah, I think you're right. I think they're a very well run.
I thought it would be even a little higher. You look at, like, who's never.
Oh, you want me to make it top quarter then?
I think it's even higher, but it's fine. I mean,
top. What's
top like 8 organizations in terms of like pure.
Like, just
I mean,
always there, no problems.
I mean, the one that always, even though I wouldn't put them 1, like the Ravens always.
Ravens are great.
They're just always good.
The Steelers are a good organization.
Steelers for sure.
Giants were for a while. We kind of hit the shit.
But they're not
Yeah, until 5 years ago, you would have said
Right,
the Giants.
yeah.
That's a good mini question to go off of. I think the Chiefs are very stable right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think the
Well,
Chiefs.
of course, right now.
But I think even ever since Andy Reid got there, they've been a steady ship.
They were
Yeah, that's true. That's even. But even with even Alex Smith, they were good. They were a playoff team every year.
I meant more like you have like a dad and a father at 50, like 50, 60, and you're like, yeah, who's been good like forever? Mostly 49ers.
I'll tell you what, and
Steelers. That's what I mean. Like, just stable. Like, they're always there.
It's hard to say them because of the fight they're in with their quarterback, and but the Packers have been well run for
without a doubt. Yeah,
for sure.
That's what I think he's not, as much as he hates the Packers. He does know, hey, you know what? There's no bullshit. There's no side antics here. Like,
right.
I want to go to a well-run organization. I'm an MVP. Like, I don't want to be dealing with the shit, you know?
You could even say, like, the Colts. They've been good for a long time.
And it just triggers something in my mind. Like, have they been good for a long time, or
just good quarterbacks?
They had a tremendous quarterback luck. Like,
I think that's kind of the same thing with the Packers.
But they suck. It is. The Colts sucked forever. Got Peyton.
Yep.
He goes out, they get luck, and like they stay,
yeah.
And then the Packers, they got Favre, and then they got Rodgers. So, are they well run, or they just get the right position right for forever?
I almost think that's like
same thing
at this point in the NFL. That's like 60% of being well run.
Saints are well run.
Yeah,
I think the Saints are well run. I don't know who the most well run organization in the league is. I think the Ravens are way up there. The Ravens are always
the first one that jumped to my brain because I think they're just like top down. Like coach is good. Like Newsom's great. Like he drafts well.
Yeah,
they're just always good defense.
The Ravens are like a college team in that they have the same identity now that they had 20 years ago. Like
yes.
they do what they do, and they always do it, and they're just great at it.
They probably are like the most consistent drafters over the last like 15, 20 years.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that.
They just always draft well. Like their first round picks, I feel like just always hit.
Is Coach K okay?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little nerve-wracking when the guy doesn't come out of halftime.
Mm-hmm.
It's really resilient for a team to finish out a game without their coach. But
they almost collapse without him.
Dude,
I mean, it's not like, but they had their next coach standing right there.
We're doing a new segment on Bench Mob where it's called the No Shtick Zone. They need to fucking figure out how to close out games and keep on the pedal. They really do. That's just a fact. They are unbelievably talented offensively. They were up 19. They gotta fucking keep that on the pedal. Don't fuck that up.
Somebody tweeted it last night. You know who we're gonna be asking for very soon and is on the rise is Forbes. They think Forbes is really, really building.
I told you I could get you Steve Forbes 2 years ago.
When are you gonna get us Forbes?
I get when you
They
want.
didn't want him last. I mean, they were.
Well, this year is the only time we're gonna.
I told you he was coming up.
No, they think now this is like he broke through. He's gonna be building.
Do you want Steve Forbes?
This is also like I would love him
whenever I can get him.
Whenever you can get him.
I'll text him.
I
after
don't
the show.
really agree with that though. I do
Saying
think
somebody tweeted. That's all.
No,
and they also this is the other part of the tweet that I forgot. They said the league is for the taking, with Shire and Hubert Davis at the helms.
That's just a lie.
Okay.
And I would say also with
Hubert Davis maybe, but John Shire's been recruiting for. I'm talking. I'm not just yelling at you.
It's not a crazy opinion.
I think it is because Shire has been doing it the entire time. Hubert Davis maybe. I have no idea what he's done. Like Shire's got Tatum, got Zion. He was the one getting those guys.
But I do think it's fair to say that Duke, with Coach K going out, and North Carolina with the transition, that they are more vulnerable than they have been in a long, long time. And then you even extrapolate that out, like Louisville's a mess.
Well, that's the last part of the tweet.
Yeah.
They said, Louisville, go get somebody. Because you
could
are
grab the league,
the biggest power waiting in the wings right there.
And the thing right now, you're saying, like, Wake Forest coming up, whatever. Like, the ACC obviously sucks this year. Well, doesn't suck more than other conferences. But, like, I don't know. I don't know if is Wake Forest really still a place, like, you want to go as a recruit?
I'm going to double down off of that. Sorry. Without Duke, obviously it's Duke and Carolina.
Yeah.
Interchangeable 1-1A, right?
Right.
The rest of the league, is that a huge turnover for such a power conference? Like, NC State's been good a lot. Miami's been good a lot, but bad. Notre Dame's in the mix now. Good, but never, like, always in the pick. You know what I mean? Like, Georgia Tech, bad a lot. Virginia was, I guess you could say Virginia is probably the
had it
third.
for
A little, but still with they're fighting for a tournament berth this year.
But I think even 30 years ago, 20 years ago, it was always Duke, North Carolina, and then a rotating cast of teams that would bubble up and be elite and then bubble back down. Like, it was a cycle of teams that would, like Wake Forest with Tim Duncan was elite, but then they lost him. And there was always a moving cast of characters behind Duke and
Wake
Carolina.
Forest is even like the Chris Paul years, and like after that, like they had a nice stretch in like the 2000s.
I guess it means more of, like we talk about consistency with the NFL, like that a team hasn't emerged as the third power.
Well,
but I feel like Virginia kind of did. This is like their first like down year.
Well, that's the rotating thing. Like Virginia,
Syracuse. We never forgot about Syracuse.
So Virginia won a national title a couple of years ago, and then like
Cuse went to a Final Four.
20 years ago, Maryland won a national title when they were in the ACC, and they weren't one of the halves. And I think the downfall of Syracuse, or whatever they are now, is a contributor to where the ACC is.
Syracuse hasn't been good. Like, they just are never good until the tournament, and they make a run. Like, Virginia, they're not even that down this year. They could still make the tournament with that win at Duke. But, like, the ACC is still going to be fine, I think. Like, Duke had a down year last year. Look at them this year. It's like,
what happened to Miami? I thought Miami was really good this year, and they've lost a lot of games.
Yeah, they're still going to make the tournament, I think. They need to win tonight.
You know who's probably going to – well, your boy might steal the votes, but Bray might be Coach of the Year. Notre Dame was picked like 8th or 9th.
Who's my boy?
Forbes.
Oh, yeah.
ACC?
Yeah.
How do you not?
I feel like it's got
to be Coach K.
No.
1,000%.
They're not. No.
Shame on me for thinking you were going to be realistic for a second. I thought you were going to say Forbes.
How do you not?
I thought for a half
second. Let's be honest.
I thought he was going to be real and say Forbes.
So
That's why I think she
deflated.
wins.
The ACC's down. It's
Forbes
his
or
last
Bray?
year. You don't think they're going to give it to him?
Wake Forest has had no expectations.
I don't think they're going to give it. Why would they give it to
Neither did
him?
Notre Dame, bro.
This is the first time. I'm not kidding.
Notre Dame was like 8th or 9th.
Hold on, there's two arguments going on right now. Let them have theirs.
No, I just think with Wake Forest just came like from the clouds, and I think they're like a legit contender.
Okay.
Not like a national champion, but like a real team.
Now, you really think they'd vote for Coach K, Coach of the Year?
So Forbes, yes. Like, I understand Wake Forest came out of nowhere. Good for them. I mean, it's just last year. I could see them giving it to him for that.
Why? They don't have to award him for anything.
They win the ACC, which helps. They beat Wake Forest twice. Like, that's you. This is not a crazy argument.
They're supposed to beat Wake Forest.
That's the thing. I'll jump on your side for a second. While you agree, like it, how could you say like, oh, he just did his job? They were predicted one. They win the regular season and they win the ACC. Let's say I get it. You did that, and you can't just like show up and throw your sneakers on the court to do that. But the way the award is built, he's at a disadvantage because a lot of people say, oh, well, of course they won. They were supposed to. So he's at a disadvantage. They're looking for guys like Forbes and Bray who rise up and overachieve expectations.
What about last year where he took a team that was dog shit last year to this team? That's what
they were dog shit because he was the coach last year.
Exactly. It was a bad coach last year, but this year's a good coach. So that's what I'm saying.
You serious? Tank every other year?
This isn't crazy. This is not crazy.
Yeah, but it's college. It's turnover. They just have better players this year.
I understand how it works.
Last year he should be ashamed of himself that you were Duke and you were that bad.
I just think the award, like if you look back how many times Bill Self has probably won Coach of the Year in Kansas, you'd probably be shocked.
Well, it's like the LeBron thing. Like, LeBron is usually the best player, and they don't get him.
I mean, Nick Saban's never the Coach of the Year in the SEC.
No.
Right. See, you see, that's what we're saying. The award is built against them.
This is his last year.
See how many times?
I hate that point the most. I don't mind your point about them improving a lot this year, but you can't just give it to him because it's his last year.
I think it helps the kid.
You're giving him a spotlight and letting him wave to the crowd every time he goes on the road. You don't have to give him the award. It's like, and this is, I'm not not taking shots at the guy. It's like giving Derek Jeter the MVP in his last year because he's Derek Jeter. That just wouldn't have worked.
But he wasn't the MVP. Like, really wasn't. Their team wasn't. They didn't make the playoffs this year. Like, Duke is probably going to be a 1 seed.
Who are the 1 seed right now? Auburn, Gonzaga, possibly Kentucky,
Arizona.
And
Kentucky definitely not.
So Kentucky and Duke might be fighting for that last spot?
I don't think you can say Kentucky definitely.
Not definitely not, but last night hurts.
As of now, they're not. As of now.
Right now, it is Gonzaga, Auburn, definite. Arizona, definite.
Yeah.
And then I think fourth is going to be close between probably Duke, because I think Duke's going to – if Duke wins out, they're going to get
I guess Purdue still has a
Purdue had a run in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think UCLA. I don't think Villanova has a shot.
Phelps won 6 times.
So
Kansas has a shot too. I forgot about Kansas.
we were talking before that I'm really starting to get the March Madness itch. Now we're turning the back 40 of February.
29 days.
Yeah, I'm getting it. Still just haven't really zeroed in on gambling college basketball. I still haven't had a good day. I haven't had that 9-1 day yet, where it tells you, all right, I'm locked in. I haven't had that at all. I've had a lot of 1-9 days in college basketball. I've been terrible. Back to the NFL draft. We were talking about the NFL draft. So there are no quarterbacks in McShay's top 10 that he released today.
Really?
No quarterbacks in the top 10. I'm sure it's happened, but I don't remember the last time there were no quarterbacks in the top 10.
Probably E.J. Manuel's draft.
Was that 11 or 12?
I think so. Maybe 13?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, I think some of the teams, too, it's incompetence. Like, the Jets probably need a quarterback, let's be honest. In the top 10, but they can't.
Still got to ride with.
Can't quit on him right now. He wasn't. I mean, the team.
I know what you
stunk.
mean. Though. I know what you mean.
That's all. I'm just like,
Might.
them drafting one means we're doubling down, and it sets you in a bad position as well. But you say, like, gun to head, is Zach Wilson the guy? I don't know.
But you have to operate for the next 2 years like he is the guy.
Yeah.
Because you've invested too.
Fair enough. But it doesn't mean that they probably should be getting a quarter. You know what I mean?
But there's not a quarterback in this draft good enough to double down on.
I agree with that as well.
Yeah.
So
here are the 4 quarterbacks that are in the first round. He's got Kenny Pickett, the number 1 quarterback, going 11 to the Commanders. I just wanted to say it to see if it felt right. It didn't feel right.
Did not feel right. Now, I really like him, so I don't want to.
Kenny Pickett to I'm almost going to just call him the Washington football team.
Washington football team's a
They should have kept it.
you want to talk about a guy who cost himself a ton of money? How about Sam Howell?
Getting there. You want to talk about a guy who made himself a ton of money. Kenny Pickett had never had more than 13 touchdowns in a season. And he comes back for his 9th year at Pitt and just blows up.
You worry about his raise? Like, he threw a ton of picks the year before, didn't he?
I mean,
or 2 years before?
Burrow. Now
okay.
he doesn't have the top end talent Burrow does, but it's the same exact
all.
rise.
I got it.
17 is Malik Willis from Liberty to Pitt. I just don't like him as a pro prospect. 18 is Matt Corral to the Saints. I think he's probably going to end up in jail.
Wow, Corral to the Saints.
And then Sam.
Mitzi was
Home run.
times.
How do you think Corral's going to end up in jail?
He's just not a good person. Not a good human being. They're bad people.
I'm not a believer in him as a quarterback.
I've been trying to tell you guys they're all bad people.
I've said that his first start at Louisville. I was like, I don't see it.
And then Sam Howell, 32 to the Lions. I think that's your 4 first round. Who's missing there? Somebody's missing. It seems like there's a 5th guy that should be in that mix. Anyway, doesn't matter. Sam Howell, 32 to the Lions, which he certainly played himself out of being like a top 5 pick.
I still like him.
I like him too. I like him the most out of any.
I said it before last year.
Pickett.
You knew he wasn't going to have as good of a year. He lost his whole offense. The team just wasn't as good.
I still like Pickett the most.
Yeah, Pickett's
He
good.
feels the safest.
Yeah, he's got that little. Burrow's a good comp for him. He's like a dollar store version of Burrow.
He's
Like-
a better agent.
Why?
Couldn't get backstage.
Couldn't even get backstage. Marty's backstage.
Asking me for backstage.
Kenny Pickett couldn't get backstage where?
He texted me to go backstage at
Morgan Wallen.
Wallen. And
Kenny Pickett? Wow.
That's not a powerful agent.
guy's gonna be should be a top 10 pick.
Fire his ass.
So
You didn't like that? You don't like that he's texting me?
no, I don't mind that he's texting you, but I asked you to get my sister backstage, and you didn't.
I couldn't get anyone backstage. I couldn't get Kenny Pickett backstage.
My sister's more important than Kenny Pickett.
Now that I know,
It's actually true.
you think my guy could get him backstage?
Who's your guy?
The guy you met that I knew from the outside. He's pretty powerful over there, right?
Who is it? The security guard?
What are we talking about?
I don't remember.
Pastrami Billy. What kind of name we're gonna have here?
No. You said you wanted. You know what? She could go GA because of your fault.
Trigger.
No,
Trigger.
you did it.
The concert already happened.
Next one.
She could go to JGA.
Because of you. But she's sitting there crying. Rico, can you forget? Brandon doubled down that fuck. You did this.
All right. So who do you like more? Pickett? We've already said Pickett. Pickett, Willis, Corral, or Howell?
I think Willis can be good. I worry about his accuracy.
Every time
I don't
they
think he's a
played
great passer.
Every time they played a good team, he just couldn't complete passes.
That's what I said. Everyone keeps trying. I was talking to Rowan about it the other day. He was trying to sell me on him so much because I said I was like, I just don't see it with him. I watched him play a lot at Liberty. I just don't. He just don't, like I said what you said. He's just not accurate. He's a cannon. He runs well. Like I get, like physically, you look at him, you're like, wow, this guy could be really good. But it's like the accuracy things is tough. Josh Allen, I feel like he's like the first guy that's like done it. That went from like just a horrible inaccuracy, and all of a sudden he's throwing darts.
You said that's 4 rounds or first round?
First round.
Oh, okay. How deep is Carson Strong?
I didn't see him.
I would guess like second or third.
Carson Strong might have been the 5th guy I was thinking.
The biggest flaw in him is that they say he can't move, which is like.
Also, I think he has a knee injury too.
That's what I was saying. I was like, listen, he was immobile regardless. Last year he was a statue because his knee was fucked, and he played through it all year.
So who's the best player in the draft, and why is it Kyle Hamilton from Notre Dame?
Could be.
I love Kyle Hamilton.
You think he's one?
I don't think he'll be drafted one. I think he's the best player in the draft.
Don't they love just taking these defensive linemen like Thibodeau? Like he's just created a fucking factory.
It'll be either a defensive end or it'll be an offensive tackle.
Yeah. Neal or the kid from
NC State. Yeah. It'll be either the tackle, one of them for tackle, or it'll be Hutchinson or Thibodeau. I think once the combine happens, Kayvon Thibodeau is probably going to rise.
What's his name? Jacoby Dean. He's dropping a little bit.
Kobe Dean. And he's like in the middle. 15.
I think that's more just because he's like an inside.
Lions
backer.
1.
Lions are 1. Yeah.
And who's 2?
Jags. I think it's Jags 2, Texans 3.
I think that sounds right.
Jets have what?
Really
4, 5?
sucks.
I think Jets 4, and then it's Giants 5 and 7.
It really sucks to be a good player.
Yeah, but that's how the league works. You know, you get to go.
It doesn't though.
But Joe Burrow just rescued Cincinnati.
Joe Burrow, but like,
Money,
think about fucking Mahomes. He went 11th, and they traded up for him. I think to.
Yeah, but we were just wrong on him. We thought he wasn't going to be great, and then he
Oh,
wasn't.
I know. Sometimes it's good to like not be proven right away.
I remember when Eli.
Clowney's fucking got fucked.
Remember when Eli had his daddy pull the trick to get him, and I always wondered,
Brilliant.
you don't want to live in San Diego?
No.
What was the deal there?
San Diego would have been fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Why didn't he want him in San Diego so bad?
San Diego was a
Because
bad
the
organization.
franchise sucks, and he was dead right.
Oh, he was. I mean, they built a team right after that to
2 Super
compete.
Bowls, 0.
Yeah,
right,
there's
wrong.
really there's nothing else.
Like, how can you look at his career and say he made the wrong decision?
I didn't. No, I didn't say he made the wrong
All right,
decision.
fair enough.
But at the time, like if that
Wouldn't he
2005 team has
Hadn't he been playing with LT?
LT and Gates and Eli
I'm
instead
saying
of
you could
instead
argue
of,
that the Chargers
Hurt Breeze.
had more talented teams and they did less.
Well, you could also argue if they had the right quarterback, they
the
wouldn't
right-
have done less.
yeah.
But I'm saying, but then that's where the argument comes in. Everyone trying to tell me that Phillip Rivers is better than Eli.
Well, that's don't worry about that argument. But I'm saying
That's
if
kind of what
How
we're
do we
talking
do
about. Like
this
if you
every- I
switch,
If he
don't get
gone to
into
say-
Eli. I never. We always get into these arguments.
I'll fight for him
if
whenever I can.
you're not fighting him. Nobody's arguing against him.
I know,
I'm
but
saying
I'll still fight
if
for him.
Eli goes to San Diego, he probably wins the Super Bowl if he's a Hall of Fame quarterback.
We'll see. I won't be hypocritical because whenever someone says it about Rivers and the Giants, I vehemently disagree. Whole different thing.
All right, James Harden got traded for Ben Simmons. Is one of these teams going to get markedly better, or did they just swap problems?
No, I think they're both going to get way better. I think I think Ben Simmons is really going to help out the Nets, and I think Harden's going to be great for the.
What seed are the Nets right now, though?
I think
I
it's
see that
3.
they were like floating around
gonna say,
5.
I think 3 or 4 maybe.
Dude, they don't give
I
a
thought
fuck.
their record was around 500.
These teams don't care
Could be
about
wrong.
the regular season. It's crazy.
I get that, but it does put you in a difficult position in the playoffs. Like, yeah, you're more talented, but if you don't have home court,
Well, it's what happened to the Lakers last year. They dicked around, then they ended up facing the Suns in the second round,
right?
or the first round.
Yeah. What the Nets are 3?
I don't know. I'll tell you. No, they're not.
Like 500.
They're 8th.
Oh my
Fucking-
god!
Right.
I knew I was right.
Yeah, you are right.
Holy fuck, was I right?
Why are you getting mad? I just told you.
I
right.
just was like, that's I knew. I was like, they're fucked up.
Sorry, you're right, Rico.
I feel like I've just been so blind. They've been terrible the last few weeks.
I was getting triggered because I said he was right.
No,
Jeez.
no. The Nets have fucked up. You're right. I mean, they might.
Hey,
Are
I
they
got to be
safely
honest.
in the playoffs?
I got to be
Now it's
no,
obviously-
they're not safely in. They're in.
But now they're going to go on a run.
They're 2 games ahead of the Hornets, which I thought the Hornets were really good. Do you know who the number 1 seed right now in the East is?
Bulls.
No. As of right,
And it's the
Heat.
it's the Heat.
Yeah.
Heat.
Heat,
Yeah.
Bulls, Bucks.
It's the Heat, Bulls, Bucks, Cavs, Sixers, Celtics, Raptors, and the Celtics are hot as fuck.
Yeah, they.
Raptors, Nets. Good for the Raptors, by the way.
You know what throws me off is Frank's always saying how bad the Nets are, and I'm just blinded by when he says bad. I never think they're as bad as they are.
Right.
True.
I guess they haven't that bad.
Well, I mean, they haven't
Riley's
had
still-
when they all were
Riley's still
playing.
running shit down there, right?
Who?
The Heat. Pat
Yeah,
Riley.
I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
They didn't have the Nets didn't have all 3 of them play together. I don't think, but I think they played like once all together. And what's so Kyrie's still just playing away?
Right, but I think it's starting to be some political winds out there that there's some thoughts that they might drop the vaccine mandate
Because
like March
road
1st.
unvaccinated players can play in Barclays and he can't.
That's
It makes no
crazy.
sense. 0 sense.
That's actually insane.
That's why.
And then the West, you've got,
I swear to God, I know I had some bad NBA takes. I think Ben Simmons is going to be unbelievable with Kevin Durant.
well, I say here's what they add there. He's not going to be a black hole as far as when the ball gets to him. He's not going to stop the ball, and they had a couple players that were ball stoppers, and defensively he's really fucking good.
Really
the Nets are trash defensively, and if he drags them up defensively, the same way the Sixers are, I think, very good defensively, and they needed a second shooter, a second scorer, and they got that. I think
Yes.
it could both work, but you have to have both guys like
Mentally.
unlock what makes them good.
But he also Simmons is a great passer for Durant.
Right.
And then didn't the Nets get was it Curry or Rivers? I don't even know what team was on. Seth or Austin Rivers?
They got Seth, I
Yeah,
believe.
they got Curry. Yeah.
And that's a good piece for him as well.
Curry and Joe Harris.
Seth Curry and Austin Rivers
Shooters.
the same.
Joe Harris has never missed a three-pointer.
No, I don't think so.
I've never seen him miss a three-pointer when watching the Nets.
If you talk about, that's why I asked, like, is Riley still running it? Maybe because I just read the book and we are Knicks fans.
How many fucking times are you gonna talk about reading this book?
I only bring it up when it's relevant.
I watched Portnoy's show yesterday. You talked about that book 6 times.
What's the name of it? I had it too. Winning something.
No, Blood in the Garden.
Oh, that book. Okay. I thought you meant Pat Riley's book from back in the day. You should read that.
No, I would check that out now. Whatever, but either way, he wanted to be the GM and president of basketball operations with the Knicks. Couldn't make it work. And you look at what he did kind of with the Heat. Those 90s teams in 97, 98 kind of did the same as the Knicks, right? He went and got the ring in 06, and then he got LeBron. And then now he's got another wave where he's the number one seed. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Knicks fucking swung and missed on that one.
No, I mean he's been probably the best like front office guy the last like 20 years.
Right, yeah. It's like you look at what it could have
Jerry
been.
West
like.
was really good.
Yeah, he built the Warriors too. Got to give him credit for sure.
Jerry West was really fucking
Literally drafted the Warriors.
So, TJ, we got Dave's GOAT tweets. I want to discuss those.
He didn't put one baseball player in there, I don't think.
He didn't do a baseball? So, he wanted to talk about definitive list of GOATs. Football player Tom Brady, Belichick, MJ, Gretzky. I don't have a problem. Although 5, golf is Tiger. It's not Jack. I know Jack has 18 majors, but Tiger was just a different matter entirely. Business, I don't care. Comedy, Chris Rock is maybe the worst take I've ever seen.
I don't think that worst take?
Comedy's so like
It's subjective, but I mean,
subjective.
like
Because I think Chris Rock's fucking awesome.
he is great, but Richard Pryor was better. Eddie Murphy was better. Chappelle's better. Like I Chris Rock's good, but I don't think he's not better than any of those guys I just mentioned.
I haven't seen like enough Pryor to really give like an honest.
You should watch Richard Pryor live on the Sunset Strip. It's on YouTube. Richard Pryor was a different animal, man. Just different level of.
I feel like comedy now is like
It doesn't exist anymore.
No, I think it's getting back to
I hope so.
where like I think like these guys like Shane Gillis and like Andrew Scholes and
Schultz is great.
what's his name? Bobby Lee. I think he's hysterical as well. There's a lot of comedians. Even DeStefano is great too.
Gillis's YouTube special is so fucking funny.
I literally just
The Alabama
running around
shit
the office
was
telling everyone
one of the
watch it,
funniest
watch
things
it.
I've ever seen.
I think you told me to watch it.
It's literally everyone I saw, I was like, watch it. I guarantee you'll like it.
So pull up. I think he had a second one as well.
I think the tough part comedians though is that everyone's looking for the sitcom and the movie. Like no one's stand. That's why I like Maniscalco so much. I think he's just a comedian to the core, which is a rarity now.
You're right, but I think it's starting to get back to where they're getting back to their specials. They're doing their own.
All right, let's talk about this one. On this one, I think Mickey Mouse as the cartoon is also crazy, but that one's wide open. But the one I want to talk about is sports announcer. Cosell was back in the 60s and 70s, and Dave's 51 years old, so I understand why he said that. But Al Michaels might be the GOAT.
That's kind of who was in my head too.
Vern's really versatile too.
Vern was in my head also.
I don't think, but Al Michaels to me, Al Michaels is everything.
Like it's also, like I know this is not a great tape. Like Joe Buck is kind of like everything. When's the last time you had a big game and he wasn't the announcer?
Well, Joe Buck is everywhere, and Joe Buck is like and Jim Nantz for CBS. They all do the same. They all now do the model where they take one guy, make him the face of everything, and just put him all around the horn. That's Joe Buck for Fox. It's Jim Nantz for CBS. It was Al Michaels forever for ABC, and then it was Al Michaels for NBC.
Did Al Michaels do a lot of baseball?
Yeah, he used to do. ABC in the 80s had Monday Night Baseball too, and he would do a lot of baseball. He was also on the call in the 1989 World Series when the earthquake hit.
Okay.
That was Al Michaels that walked us through that. So he's done baseball. He's done everything. Miracle on Ice. Al Michaels is a GOAT.
He was who? Do you see the video of him and Eminem at the Super Bowl?
I saw that.
That was awesome.
It's Al Michaels is definitely.
Eminem really loves him.
Eminem was like, "You're the GOAT." And
Everybody loves
him. And he was like, Al Michaels was like, "You're the fucking."
But like Joe Buck, there are people out there don't like Joe Buck. Tired of him. I don't know. Is there anybody that doesn't like Al Michaels?
I don't know. I love him.
I don't know anybody that doesn't like Al Michaels.
No, I also think he's in on it. He was in on it too with gambling early.
Yeah,
sure.
He was always digging at it.
That's why what's his face Musburger is really great with that too. But he'd always make the references and
tell me
very
why
funny.
you don't think Mickey Mouse is like I'm not a huge Mickey Mouse person, but like that's like probably the most universal known.
I think Mickey Mouse is probably the most famous cartoon. But
yes.
as far as best, I mean the Looney Tunes are better. Bugs Bunny's better. Nobody has a favorite Mickey Mouse cartoon.
Okay, that's fine then.
I have
Mickey
a blog
Mouse is
pending
not
right now.
SpongeBob's
Yesterday
good.
was Matt Groening's birthday, so I have my top 5 cartoons, and I know that I'm going to get roasted for them.
Simpsons number 1.
Nope, Simpsons isn't in it, and South Park's not in it. That wasn't my thing.
So you're celebrating Matt Groening's birthday by saying his show isn't in the top 5. Happy birthday, Matt.
Who's your top 5?
Well, you got to read the blog.
Nah, it might not get finished. TJ, we got an interview. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay, you're done. No. What?
My own personal 5 favorite cartoons.
What? No.
Hey Arnold. I did it as animated shows. Family Guy had fucking a heater. F is for Family is fucking hilarious with Bill Burr.
Never heard of that.
And Recess is the
Haven't
goat.
heard
In my
of
opinion,
that.
Recess is the goat.
Family.
Your top 5? Okay, whatever. No.
That doesn't even
Trigger.
have.
Trigger.
That's crazy 5.
That's a wild 5.
Family Guy is the only one that it was acceptable.
Why?
I don't.
Best
even-
animated shows. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You didn't like. That was a wave as a kid.
No Rugrats.
Rugrats was better than that.
You start going down that dark web of the Rugrats where they think the babies were never born. That's a really weird.
I don't remember Rugrats that much.
No. There's a lot of conspiracy.
Rocket
theories.
Power.
I didn't watch
Big Rocket
that.
Power
I was
guy.
a big Rocket Power guy.
The best.
Did y'all see the
Did you ever watch Recess? So how could you
Recess
say
is
it's bad?
good.
Recess is
Never
great.
watched that.
Did y'all see the trivia? Oh no, you didn't. Did y'all see the trivia poll Nick had on Rugrats?
See, I actually thought that was easy because that meme's been
Okay,
going
so
around for a while.
TJ, can we see that? I don't know if you can pull it. Probably on a dozen. Nick's poll of a Rugrats question.
That meme's been pretty recent. I'm surprised you didn't get
But
there.
no,
right
well,
away.
I'm gonna give you a little play-by-play, a little behind the scenes, because Nick played everybody for fools. He just played everybody for fools. He knew that answer immediately.
Got it.
And that son of a bitch just sat there and sat there and sat there, and then acted confused and talked to Frank. And then when he heard 1 second, nailed it, motherfucker. I knew
One
it.
Nickelodeon character references an adult film type movie called Lonely Space Vixens in a 1990s episode of their show.
I'm okay with it.
What character?
He knows it now.
So,
Cannot use a lifeline, obviously.
of their show,
Son of a bitch.
This is confirmed that he played you?
Wouldn't this be like?
Oh, I asked him. I asked him, when did you know it? He said when he asked
Stimpy,
it.
maybe Angry Beavers.
So what about Tiny Toon Adventures?
I don't know. I don't know if they would
Like,
reference
what
porn.
was the duck? What was the duck's name?
I love Frank's
Pete
hat.
and Pete?
Look at Frank's hat.
What was the duck on Tiny?
So wait, do you want the character name or the?
The real monster.
Do you want the character name or the show name?
And this is when I knew he knew it.
3, 2, are going to go Grandpa Pickles from the Rugrats. That is correct.
It's like, you sandbagging son of a bitch.
You sandbagging motherfucker. And I had to leave there for a second. Okay.
I have no problem with the gamesmanship.
Oh no, I like it. There's a showmanship.
Very smart of when he knows how to play something. He's
My favorite part though is that team dynamic is that Frank can say something.
Yeah.
And they double check it 3 to 4 times.
Right.
Miley Cyrus, and Miley Cyrus turned out being the best answer, but there's like a dismiss him right away. It's a very fun dynamic with them.
So I don't know. I think the cartoon goat would be the hardest to come up with. Cartoons are, there's every genre of cartoons. There's like the Ninja Turtles. There's the action. There's the comedy. There's the silly. There's the baby kids. There's all. But it would be hard not to say the Simpsons. I mean, the Simpsons, one of the most successful cartoons ever. I think I would go Looney Tunes. I would go Bugs Bunny and them. That's probably my cartoon goat.
Yeah, I wasn't a Simpsons guy, but everyone obviously loved it.
That's surprising you weren't a Simpsons guy.
I
Just
know.
too late.
I honestly don't like. Yeah, I guess I don't think I've really sat down and watched this.
Yeah, I mean,
episode.
The first 10 seasons of The Simpsons are some of the best TV ever made. And then I think it fell off. I haven't watched Simpsons in 10, 15 years, but the first from 1990 to 1996 especially, it was elite.
Not a cartoon guy. That's just me. Like, I just don't watch cartoons.
Who still watches it?
A lot of people.
A lot of people. It's still kicking.
Dude, when South Park was still going,
South
like,
Park
people
is
fucking
great.
love.
South Park is still going.
Still going?
Yeah.
Still going.
Wow.
45th.
Well, they're just great because they just keep up with
season?
the times.
45th
They're just
season?
so topical.
What season are they on? 45th? 25th?
No, it started in like 96 or 97, so whatever.
South Park is funny. I've watched some of those.
I have seen a little of that. You ever seen Christmas in Baghdad? That's a great episode.
Yes, I have seen that one.
Unbelievable.
Yes, that one's funny.
Carmen, that's like repent his sins.
Have you
He's
seen
riding with Jesus.
on Netflix?
What?
That's my boy.
Oh, yeah, I did actually.
Is it on Netflix?
Yep, it is.
All right, I'll watch it.
Just added.
Look at that.
What?
Look at his hat.
What's his hat say? Oh, he's got a
Look
big
at his hat.
Rim.
He looks like Scotty Smalls.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like.
Crazy.
So in the NBA right now, the odds don't match the standings, and they never do because Marty's right. Teams just don't approach the regular season the same ways.
He gives a
So right now, like the Grizzlies have the third best record in the Western Conference. Is that the league? They might have the third best. Yeah, they got the third best record in the league, and they are 10th in odds on the Barstool Sportsbook app, and they are just great. The Grizzlies are athletic and fun, and John Morant's incredible. But right now,
Worth taking a flyer on?
I think so. The Warriors. Here's we're gonna pick a team to take a flyer on right now. Warriors lead the pack at plus 400. They're 4-1. Suns plus 450. Nets come in at third. They're 6-1. The Bucks at 650. I think that's your flyer right there.
Yes.
650 on the Bucks.
Yes.
The team that won the championship last
Disrespect.
year. And then the East. There's nobody that's not flawed in the East. Like they can get through the Nets, they can get through the Sixers, they can get through the Heat. Bucks at 650 to me is your flyer team, and I don't even think it's a flyer. I think that's a pretty confident bet you can put in. Sixers at 7-1. Heat, the number 1 seed in the East, are at 12-1. The Jazz at 17-1. The Bulls and the Lakers and the Grizzlies all at 25-1. The Celtics at 30-1, and the Nuggets, really the last one worth mentioning, at 35-1.
Two things. One, the Celtics are like turning it around.
Celtics have been great.
And then the 76ers at 7-1 is not a bad bet either.
The Celtics beat the piss out of the Sixers.
Out of
Yeah, just beat them from start to finish. But I think the Sixers.
What are the Grizzlies going to be seeded? I'm sorry.
They're the third seed in the West right now. They're 41-18. They're 9-1 in their last 10. The problem is the Suns are 9-1 in their last 10. They're 47-10. The Warriors are 42-16. That's far and away the 3 best records in the league. The Jazz are 36-21, and then you got the Mavericks at 5, the Nuggets at 6, the T-Wolves at 7. T-Wolves have been pretty good.
I like Memphis.
Lakers currently not in the playoffs.
I like Memphis a little bit if they avoid the Warriors in the semis. I'd rather have the Suns. Or maybe I'm fucking. I don't know.
I don't think you'd
I really only watch the Knicks a little bit and the Warriors.
The
Like
Suns and Warriors are
TV.
6 of one, half dozen of the other. You don't want to get either one of those teams.
Okay, but I do know
The
John
Lakers
Morant's killing it. So
didn't do anything at the trade deadline.
No, and the Lakers probably aren't going to make the playoffs.
Well, that's what I was thinking. The Bulls and the Lakers, you said, are the same? Those are the 2 seed, and the Lakers aren't in the playoffs right now. They're the same odds.
The Lakers are 25. The Lakers have the same odds as the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are 41-18. The Lakers are 26-31.
Yeah, but Ev, you know that if they start putting crazy numbers in front of the Lakers, we're gonna be like, how do you not take a? You know what I mean? Like they're setting themselves up for.
I think the Bulls at 25-1 are not like a horrible like.
The Bulls are currently
the same with the Nets. The Nets are an 8. What are the Nets? 6.
They're 6. The Bulls are 37-21. They're tied for the best record in the East right now. It has the Heat as number 1.
What are 25-1? I think it's a fly.
Well, they have the best record in the East, and they're 25-1. The Nets are barely in the playoffs right now. They're holding on to a playoff spot, and they are 6-1. It's the NBA though.
It's because they know they can't put the Nets at 30-1. That is just setting yourself up for a fucking disaster.
It'd be a disaster because a lot of people would want it, and they can get hot, and they can win it.
100%.
It's just wild looking at the odds because in college basketball, the odds pretty much follow the rankings, not to the letter, but in the NBA, they don't follow at all. They don't track at all.
You still get some outliers. Like I think Providence is what was Providence at 100-1 last week or something like that. Like basically saying they don't believe in Providence. Like you'll get those where they don't believe in them. What'd you say? Arkansas at 100-1?
Yeah, I took them at 100-1.
Right. So like there is somewhere they're like, they're overachieving and they're going to get a high seed
for a while too.
Providence is more egregious. I mean, they were ranked 8th. Like Arkansas at least was unranked.
Right.
All right, y'all want to get to the picks?
Yes.
Yep. We had a good night last night.
Me went 3-1.
Oh wow.
It was a bad night for everybody.
Yeah.
3-1 winning.
Like
It's one of them nights. I went 2-4.
Bad. All of a sudden,
3-1
is a bad night.
No, like for that to be the best night.
Far and away the best night. Yeah. Trigger.
I mean, you've been a bad gambler.
Haven't been
not
great.
a good gambler. Yeah. Not a good person either.
Haven't been great.
I've been
I know.
a gambler.
Rico, you want to lead us off?
Yeah. Jacksonville State.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, is every day a Mincy late?
Yeah, no,
every day.
We can't complain about him. People like him too much. He treats us like shit.
He does.
Well, yesterday he was on the road, so you can't make picks when you're on the road.
He didn't make a pick yesterday?
Well, he made them at like 4 p.m. or something.
That's just not the rules.
And he didn't get the picks in today either?
He didn't go
Not yet.
5.
That's not the rules. I don't care how you went 0-5.
The Mincy tours.
Listen, brother, Mincy tour's a lot of work. Give him credit. He's doing a lot of content. He has to go to a Pelicans game.
He sat in the wood for Pelicans yesterday.
Rico, give me your picks.
Jacksonville State.
Gamecocks.
Yeah. TJ, what's it at? I always give it to him so he doesn't. There we go. Most people can get it. 4.5. Grand Canyon -2.5 and Colgate -6.5.
You think you're the only person in America with those 3 teams as your card right now?
I also will be the only 3 person watching them on multiple screens at the same time.
Quad box?
Yeah.
Marty Mush.
I actually think Colgate's going to pound Army. I really do.
Marty Mush.
We got an early game today, so I took Manhattan +5. St. John's +8. I don't think Xavier's 8 points better than St. John's. Bama -6. Miami -2. Need to win. Marquette -13. Seton Hall +5.5. Auburn -13.5. Texas Tech -2. I got the GPS as well. It's Jokic and Curry's +200 something. Also, I told you Memphis is back.
The benchmark parlay is going to be Texas Tech in the over.
You were right on Memphis.
FYI.
You got squirrely.
Give me that too,
Little
TJ.
squirrely, little squirrely.
Benchmark parlay, please.
Big Ev.
And I got Texas Tech -1.5. Probably my favorite play of the day. I just
Love
think they're
them.
a lot better than Baylor. I got Northwestern +6 and the over in that game 144. Also, the little midday action starts at 1. Fairfield laying the points and the under 1 o'clock action. And also, I'm adding Rutgers +4. Chop, chop, chop.
I just get so scared of Northwestern being in an over. I mean, that's just a team that it feels like every time I look at them, they score 60 points, 50 points. But Purdue plays great offense and not a lot of defense. So
What time's Manhattan?
at 1 o'clock.
Oh, fuck. I was going to say 2. You can make it up there by then.
You want to go? Probably good seats available, I would assume.
100%.
Where?
Pull mine up. I only got 3 plays because I was down bad after Super Bowl. I played last night, 2-4. Not doing great. Hawks -6, but I'm surprised. Rutgers money line. Rutgers wins these games at home. Are they bet?
Illinois is a tall task. I'm rooting for you, TJ. We'll be there next Saturday.
How many tall tasks have they gone? They've gone ahead and won though.
3 in a row.
Like they have. They get these ranked teams at home, and for some reason, I guess it's the presence of TJ or the.
They win this
of
one.
TJ.
They're definitely in.
They would have
What?
to be.
If
They would.
don't win this one, they're definitely winning Saturday.
Yeah.
Are they playing Saturday?
Next Saturday. Wisconsin.
Oh yeah. So that's my 3 plays: Hawks, and then the other money line, and then there you go, the Rutgers money line. I timed it bad today. We have a whole minute.
Yeah. Go watch Mush the Line over the Yak for like 20 minutes.
How was the how was the trip yesterday? The road trip.
Oh my God, it was nuts. Like we went to a great burger spot with Cooj first, and then, dude, Food Boss's house was insane. Like the food he actually did. Like I went to the bathroom in his house.
I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the tweet that you sent. That it made perfect sense to me. You said being in Staten Island with Rico is the worst.
Oh my God, dude! Every fucking street. He goes, "That's I won't say her name. It's like that's fucking Christina's house." And I was like, "Oh, like I thought it was a famous person." He was like, "No, I went to grammar school with her." I'm like, "What the fuck are we doing here?" Every place it was like, "Oh, I had my I went to a christening there. I went to a wedding there. It's everything." It was unbelievable.
All right, next time we'll just listen to the radio.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You're never gonna be back. Just do a little,
Trigger?
No.
All right.
I will say this: you can go down a little bit and go directly on Forest Avenue. I went past certain avenues. I knew people's houses were. Gotta fill the conversation. We're driving a long time.
Yak is up next.